It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so the train keeps moving at 140. A real interesting piece of news, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, first and foremost, the IBF has ordered a fight between Richardson Hitchins and Jack Catterall for the IBF mandatory spot. Now, it's very interesting because Richardson Hitchins and Jack Catterall both had the opportunity to fight for the spot earlier in the year against Shojahan Ergashev. They both declined. Now, if you want to say it's a duck, I know people will say, BT, how could you say anybody ducked Ergashev after as bad as he fought against Subriel Matias? You were hyping him up. He's a hype job, exposed, all that stuff, right? But that was Matias that exposed him. These guys didn't expose him. Matias did, so keep that in mind. But let's talk about that potential matchup. Now, Catterall versus Hitchins, really, really intriguing fight for me because when you look at Catterall is the uncrowned champion. He fought Josh Taylor. Many people, including myself, thought he won. And just a really hard guy to deal with. Southpaw, he's shown that he can box on the outside. He's very good at breaking his rhythm and changing his cadences. And so he's a hard guy to really... It's hard to really gauge what he's doing when you're in there with him, right? And he's shown that willingness at times to stay in the pocket and fight. You know, he's not a big puncher, but he's got this grit about him that I like. And he's also got the skills of a classy boxer. So he's just to me a very well-rounded fighter and one of the best fighters in the division. On the other hand, you got Richardson Hitchins, a guy that, you know, I'll be real with you, and I've said it many times, I'll say it again. When I first watched him fight against Arrhenius Mendes in 2020, I wasn't like overly impressed with him, but when you look at his resume, you know, I gotta give him his due. He fought somebody that I know is a very good fighter in Trayshawn Wiggins early in his career. You know, Wiggins is now ranked welterweight. He beat him. You know, he's beaten Arrhenius Mendes, Trayshawn Wiggins, Yomar Alamo, Jose Zepeda. Richardson Hitchins quietly has one of the best resumes of any American fighter in boxing, you know, for his age level. And I want to give him his credit for that. I'm not a hater, right? I like this fight between him and Catterall because Hitchins, one thing about him, and maybe sometimes it may be to his detriment, but you know, the great George Foreman said it best. Boxing is like jazz. The better you do it, the less people appreciate it, right? That's a famous quote from George Foreman, I think it was. And Hitchins has mastered the art of being a ring general, controlling with the jab, L-stepping. If you guys don't know what an L step is, that's when you literally go like this, like in an L. You may watch a fight. So if a guy's in the center of the ring, you may see him throw a jab, and he'll take steps kind of like in an L shape, and it happens a lot. It's a way for fighters to kind of control range and distance, and it's just a natural movement in the ring for any fighter, whether you're southpaw or orthodox. He's good at that type of shit. He's good at controlling range and controlling, you know, distance. And sometimes if the opponent is not up to his level skill-wise, it can make him look bad because he's just doing the same shit round after round after round, and it can be boring. And that's what happened with the Zepeda fight. And that's actually a credit to him. Even if I say it's boring, it's a credit to him, right? So I think the fight with Catterall will be interesting because Catterall is a lot high. I would class him as a higher skill fighter than Zepeda. And I would class him as maybe quite possibly the more highest skilled fighter he's fought, just because he's real tricky, he's real awkward and tricky, and he's boxed at a high level. He sparred Floyd Mayweather before as well, so I like that fight a lot for both men, and I hope it winds up happening. And you know, look, I gotta be real. Nobody's rushing to fight Subriel Matias. The guy, the word boogeyman gets thrown around a lot, but the guy has a belt, and it's hard to get guys to fight him at times, right? Now, as far as Hitchins and Catterall, you know, I'll start with Hitchins, right? Because Hitchins, I saw an interview on Fight Hype. He did an interview with my guy Hans Demistode. Shout out to Hans out there from Fight Hype. He did an interview with Hans Demistode, and he was talking about how basically he's not really interested in fighting Subriel Matias. Now, to his credit, I'll give him his credit. When he talked about Matias, he was very complimentary. He was respectful. He actually acknowledged him, which is more than I can say for other fighters in this weight class. Devin Haney and Regis Prograis and a lot of other big names and champions, Lopez, they're very dismissive. They're not interested in fighting him. They act like he doesn't exist. So in that regard, Hitchins is better than those guys, right? But he was saying that basically, even if he were to become mandatory, he wouldn't really be interested in fighting Subriel Matias because of the IBF has this rule where you can't rehydrate 10 pounds above the weight. So like if you're fighting at 140, so you can't rehydrate above 150, right? And he's saying that, with him struggling to make the weight, when he rehydrates, he drinks a Gatorade and he automatically rehydrates over 150. So with that being said, if he can't make the weight, my thing is he should adhere to the rules and he should move up to 47, or just tell the IBF, hey, I don't want to go that route. Tell Eddie Hearn to tell the IBF, I don't want to go that route, because what's going to wind up happening is if you fight Jack Catterall and beat him to become mandatory, and then for whatever reason you pull out the fight and decide not to fight Matias because of this rule, it's going to make you look bad. And that's not fair to Hitchins, because he's been out there showing and proving, right? So hopefully he gets that situated beforehand, because Matias is nothing to play with. And a lot of fighters are doing that in boxing. Like a lot of fighters, they're killing themselves to make the weight. They're being weight bullies, and they just need to start fighting in the natural weight classes, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous what's happening to these fighters, kind of killing themselves to make the weight. And any fighter who, well, listen, I know, because Hitchins said it himself in the interview. Hitchins said that he didn't really know before he signed with Eddie Hearn, which is recent. Like he didn't know much about belts or the rules or anything like that. And it's crazy because as boxing fans, we know all the rules and things like that. But fighters are not like that, man. Fighters go to the gym. They got to train. They got to spar. They got to worry about sharpening their tools, right? So they don't have all the time in the world to learn the bureaucracy and the policies of boxing, right? That's why you put a good team around you that you trust, that can help you understand these things, right? Because you got to focus on training and being your best self in the ring, because that's what matters is fighting and winning. So I get it, but anybody who goes the IBF route in any weight class, below heavyweight, of course, they need to ask themselves a question: will I be able to make the weight underneath? Adhere to the rules, because the rule is you can't rehydrate above 10 pounds for a world championship fight, or if you're ranked, right? So, that being said, that's the news, man. IBF orders Catterall versus Hitchins. Hitchins is already kind of dismissing a Subriel Matias fight due to a rule that the IBF already has. So, if they fight and he beats Catterall, don't expect him to run to Subriel Matias. I don't think anybody will be running to Subriel Matias, because he's just beating the shit out of everyone, and it's kind of scary. Seeing what he did to Ergashev is kind of scary, because Ergashev is not a bum. He just made him look like a bum. And that's more of a credit to Matias, how dangerous he is. And my thing is this, I'm going to say this too, because Hitchins was very dismissive of Ergashev, saying that he only has a left hand and all that stuff, and to some degree that's true. But you didn't fight him. So my thing is, if Hitchins doesn't want to fight Matias, then go fight Ergashev. Go fight him. Go fight Ergashev. Give yourself a little measuring stick against Matias. Give yourself a little, see how it goes for you. See if you can have the same success that Matias had. I doubt you do. I mean, you might beat him, you might outbox him, but you're not going to beat the shit out of him the way Matias did. So, that's my thing. But leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.